Our motoring tip of the week concerns window regulators. Now, if you recognize this vehicle, this is our crew truck. It's a 2002 Yukon. Brad and the camera guys drive it a lot. It's got lots of kilometers, being a great truck, runs mint just like new. But we've had to replace the window regulator before in this truck. Every vehicle has its Achilles heel. This seems to be the one on this vehicle, but I think part of our situation is the fact that this vehicle parks in an area where it doesn't get a lot of sunlight, and it's very close to the shore of Lake Ontario. So corrosion on these components is actually what causes them to fail. So I think that's what we're going to find here. And when I look at my writing on the inside of the vapor panel, we've already got the trim panel off. We've done it twice before, about 5 years ago on the last go around. So we've got to take that vapor barrier off, get a new window regulator in, and make this thing work right again. Now the new window regulator is in the door now. We can see it actually working. It's moving the glass up and down the way it should. You can actually see the motor part of the window regulator hanging out of the door opening right here. Now we haven't got the trim back on yet, and the boys speeded this whole process up in the studio. We've still got to put the vapor barrier, other hardware back on here, the door, inside door handle and the trim panel, of course, but at least you can see that it's back together and working. And we can see from the old window regulator assembly, we can actually see the cable where it's frayed and broken right here, and you can see that it's all black and it's rusty and broken down. So this is what takes these things out, and I firmly believe that part of the problem is where we park the truck. It's close to the shore of Lake Ontario. It's in a corner where it doesn't get a whole lot of sun, so it never gets dried out. Any moisture that gets on it corrodes parts, and I really believe that's the problem. Now, my buddy in Florida, Andy Price, he's got an 02 Yukon identical to this truck. For 14 years, I was asking him if he'd ever had this problem with his truck. Never an issue with him. Warm, dry environment, a whole different story. Now, this operation, replacing the window regulator, is something that can be done on location. The Autoglass guys actually come to you and replace this. This is a whole industry and this is the way they do it. I like to do these jobs outside for the natural light. It's just way easier to see and do everything than when you're stuck in the shop. So when the weather's good, even if there was room in the shop, I'd be outside doing it just like you see it today. So, you know, this is one of these parts that will fail on a modern vehicle. Pretty easy to change and fairly painless to do it. That's your motoring tip of the week.